The Tale of the Damned Explorers by Jordan Dure. When it is as chilly as the morning when the damned explorers saved all of the life down the dams, then you better watch out, because if you go past the fence on your own and on a chilly morning, you may not come back. With a nice hot cup of tea, of herbal tea, all courtesy of the greatwood tree, ruler of the fence. The explorers moved further into the dams. They came across a bridge. They found this part dull and boring, until they soon heard the rustling of leaves. It was the wild Gallic gangsters. They had created a mini tsunami of leaves. Luckily, the explorers were wise, and came up with a plan to run.
The dance is very calm, depending on the birds. When I mean birds, I don't mean lasses. It can be pretty mucky, so wear suitable shoes. But not the ones when you get them mucky, your parents will kill you. There's wildlife out there, like deers, squirrels and insects. But if the trees could talk, they would be shocked and disgraced.
Down the path we go, running not going slow. We pass under gaping trees and feel the cold refreshing breeze, looking at the flowers spring, while a little bird takes wing. We sit on the logs and look at the frogs, staring at the murky water while the temperature gets a bit warmer. We start to head back to school and have a drink to keep us cool.
It was a lovely day deep in the dams. Kids playing, birds chirping, everything was great. A young girl called Wanda was out exploring. This was her first time out on her own. She saw something shiny in the distance. She was intrigued to go have a closer look. She thought of the risks, like what will it be? Will it hurt me? What will it do? But ignoring them, she went on to investigate. As she got nearer to the bright light, she started to hear some sort of strange futuristic noise She continued to investigate. As she neared the strange light, she crouched behind a dock leaf big enough to shield her from whatever was in front of her. She glimpsed over the dock leaf and was nearly blinded by the brightness. She dropped the leaf suddenly and walked towards what seemed like some sort of portal. She felt a sudden struck in the ground. She felt taken over, almost controlled. What was happening? She headed towards the light, trying to force herself not to. She froze with fear. Suddenly, a tremendous noise rushed through the forest. A gigantic creature, similar to a dinosaur, stepped out of the portal. Wanda snapped back to herself. She ran and ran, tripping and falling into bushes and over sticks. She found a big enough tree to climb, with much difficulty and struggle. She paused and tried to catch her breath. Wanda thought she was safe, and there was silence throughout the forest. She was wrong. She was paralysed with fear. She felt a pair of piercing blue eyes watching her every move. It was her imagination playing tricks on her. After 25 minutes of staying in the tree, she ran as quick as her little legs would take her, tripping as she went. She told the villagers, didn't believe a word they said. Wanda began to doubt in herself if it really happened. But if it was to come again, Wanda would be prepared.
Grass crawled onto the path. The pond was in many animals' bath. The pretty snow-like blossom blew off in the spring breeze. Flies flew freely in the sky. Very soon we'd had to say goodbye. However, our little adventure was not over. We soon walked through a patch of clovers, walking back to school, past the murky pool, up the zigzag path that snakes. Next period, I would be baking cakes.
I knew I had gone too far, but I just needed to get away from everyone for a while. The community are very close and you can't even think without everyone knowing your thoughts. I gazed around for a beetle. One of them could take me back to the village. Mr. John would not be pleased if I was late for the fire again. The gods decided I was worthy and blessed me with a flying beetle to take me back. This beetle was very meek and couldn't support my weight. It wobbled all the way back, occasionally crashing into trees. Back at the camp, there was not a soul in sight. All that could be heard was the crackling fire in the distance. Following the sound, I came across the group, listening to Mr. John telling them stories about his old life. The giants are bigger than you can imagine. I should know, as I was one of them once. He croaked hoarse and whisper.
When you're in the dams, you may be able to spy a little butterfly, or maybe instead a heron so tall and still at the water's edge. Even in the ponds you will find life, a frog, looking for some flies. But in the clearing you will be lucky to see a beautiful deer. It's looking at you, and with a blink it's gone, hidden and unseen.
I opened my eyes, the sun shone right through me, waking me up. Where was I? This was definitely not the place I went to sleep last night. Last thing I remember is camping in the woods with my musketeers. Now, well, I have no clue where I am. I can't even tell my surroundings. Really, all I can say is that everything is big, bigger than usual. Is it just me, or have I shrunk? I think I've shrunk, but anyway, I think I'm energetic enough to start my journey right here, right now. So here I am walking to, well, I don't really know where I'm walking to. I'm just hoping for the best results, to find my 3 musketeers. About 3 miles into walking, I think I needed a rest, perhaps a little nap. So I found a nice place to sleep, a dry pile of mud. Trust me, that was the nicest place to sleep, especially where I am right now, the woods. Deep into the woods, that's where I think I am anyway. So there I was falling asleep. I fell asleep for around about 45 minutes. As soon as I woke up, all I saw was white, pure white. I was cold, also, maybe it had snowed, because I was freezing. Anyway, so I continued my journey then. I saw a cat. It looked mischievous. It followed me anywhere I went. I tried to get rid of it, but it didn't work. Without even realizing it attacked me. I tried to get it off me by grabbing its paws, but it had too much grip.
Many mysteries you can see, so many things to discover. Everywhere you go, racing hearts, so excited. In the woods, you're energized. The Carron Dam's such a magical place.
The long boggy path and the deep mushy lake, it isn't a very nice bird bath or a place to wake. Long vines strand the trees and plants start to die. That's when the birds say it's time to flee and start to fly. But they always come back, rain or shine, even if the tree has died. Because the roots of that tree has disintegrated, I want to be back and alive.
Walking down the path, passing grass, bugs, bees and plants, cool breeze, sun shining.
Crunch, crunch on the path, crunching on the big black path, carving like pasta. Mossy, so mossy, all up the trees, slidey, careful not to fall. Drip, drop on the ground, pitter patter all around, hydrating the ground.
Down the dams, on the paths, all the insects in the grass, many flowers growing, some not when it's snowing.
The dams have the disgusting water, enchanted forest, covered in mud, and now it's time, right now, and over we let it grow. Now we clean the dams, make it nice again, and clean it up, make it good again. Someone help, we need your help.
Crash, crack, creak, around the dams, racing up the hill, whistling on the leaves. Over the trees, birds are whistling, nettles stinging, dancing around and singing, Mushroom City, stop.
Birds chipping a lot, people singing all the time. Birds are going south. In the spring, flowers glow. In the spring, animals come out. In the spring, all is warm.